Today is the 33rd session on mindfulness for beginners in English, and I would like to welcome everyone to today's session. Okay, sorry about that. So I would like to welcome all of you to today's session, especially uh, Venerable Dhamma Thero is joining us today from Nissarana Vanaya Forest Monastery. Since Venerable Homagam Dhamma Kusala Thero is unable to attend into today's session. So this is the 33rd session on our program, and today is the 22nd Saturday, on the 22nd, the 5th of May. So to commence things, I would like to invite Venerable Bhante to start off with in-session practice on mindful sitting. And I would like to mention that today the Bhante will not be having video on due to his personal choice. So we would go on this manner for today's session. Over to Bhante. Thank you.
Okay, Thero everyone, and have a nice day. As Kusala Bhante is not here today, I am conducting the session. So as we know, the session is starting with the mindful sitting. And also I think most of you are not beginners. Most of you are familiar about the mindful sitting, even though we are starting as a beginner's mind. Even though we are much familiar, we are starting as a beginner's mind. So when we're doing the mindful sitting, in the beginning, we can set the posture so that we can stay longer time without any distraction from our body. It is most important thing, because if we not set the posture in balanced way, as a pyramid or as a stupa, the body may give the painful thing like that. The body may not support for our mind. So in the beginning, we are correct our posture so that balance way. So after that, I think most of you are Buddhist, or even though you are not Buddhist, you can remind your religious. You can use several seconds for remind the religious, and after that you can scan through your body, so to check whether any distraction point in your body or any painful thing or any unbalanced thing in body, you can check whether in your body. So you can scan several times in your body. If there is any unbalanced thing, you can change the posture and you can correct the thing. After that, you correct everything. You can concentrate on your body like that. When you concentrate on your body, you may feel the touching places like your backside, or sometimes you may feel the breathing process. Or in the breathing process also, one person may prominently feel in the beginning of the breathing process, like nostril area. And someone else may feel the end of the breathing process, like the stomach rising and falling. Sometimes any other person may feel the chest rising and falling. Sometimes some other person may feel something else, like that heartbeat or something else also. If you feel something much prominent, you can concentrate on that. Not everyone can concentrate any single thing. Everyone may feel the different kind of thing. If you feel the one thing much prominent, you can concentrate on that, like that breathing process or touching places, like that. So you can concentrate whatever you feel much prominent. Then you can look at that as an outside person, as a someone else thing, not my thing, like that. Then when you look at it is as an outside person, you can observe that is very well, because if you look at it as a my thing, you are not able to observe all the tiny things of that, because you may feel the likely or unlikely thing about that feeling. So if you look at that as an outside person, you may able to observe all the tiny things of the process. So you can observe as an outside thing person, as it should be happen, it should not be happen, like that. You can observe as an outside person. While you are observing this, sometimes your mind may go away, because this is not a much likely thing. So when if you mind go away, and after that you may mind understood I am not doing this is whatever what is the thing I have to do, then no need to worry about that, and just again you can concentrate on whatever you concentrate earlier. Like that you can stay sometimes with your body, current moment with your body. So we will spend some time for the mindful sitting till I ring the bell. Okay, everyone have mindful sittings. Well, I think everyone has a nice mindful session. So with that mindfulness, we will go to the next step of the program.
Thank you very much, Bante, and much made to Bante for this quick session on mindful sitting practice. As a next step in our session, we would proceed on to the presenting of reflection reports received for today. And for that task, I would like to warmly invite Sonali to conduct the Q&A session. And the microphone is over to you, Sonali. Thank you.
Avasarai Bante. Thank you, Namanta. There are 3 reports that we've received today. I will start with the first one. It's from an adult. Sitting meditation. Watched breath as primary object. In and out breaths, change in length. Warmer out breath, observed. Sounds not distracting, thoughts distracting. Not sleeping, aware but mind felt empty, not able to report what was present. Mind stayed with the empty sensation, but came back to breath briefly, but it was very subtle. Alarm went off after an hour. Watching thoughts. Watching thoughts during the day, aware when greed arises with regards to food, noted the proliferation, the inner chatter, and at times, despite awareness, succumb to eating, and at all other times, by being in wise reflection, can resist the food. Noted during a 24-hour period of observation of 8 precepts. Despite hunger, no desire for food as usual, but a feeling of calm. Noting the sensation of hunger passing after a short period, and at other time, stopping after drinking some water. Aware when anger, impatience, irritation arises, as well as happy, content, feeling of generosity, wanting to be kind, helpful. Note all these arises and passing. And inner chatter and proliferation also noted some of the time. Thank you for the guidance and to the organizers. That's the end of report.
Good report. I think when you talk about the mindful sitting, you could able to identify the calmness and also the emptiness also you could able to identify. That also coming and going away. The emptiness is coming and also it is not stay last long. After that, sometimes again, breathing feeling is happen. That means the emptiness also not stay last long. It also coming and also it also going away. And like that, in the day-to-day life also, you identify that the hunger is coming and it's not stay last long. And also kindness and anger, like that, all the things coming. But it not stay last long. It also going away. So this identification is the most important thing because we can identify the instability. Everything is coming, is going away. We are the one giving the importance to those things. If we give the importance to those things, anything, it will not go away just as like that it's coming. It will be stay some more time. If we give the importance to the something, it will stay sometimes, or else it will come back again recently, like that. If we are the one giving importance to something, we are the one giving the unimportant to another thing. So if we give the things for the important or unimportant to different kind of thing, we are the one selecting the thing. We are the ones selecting our distraction. In this report, he or she is telling that sometimes that thought may get the distraction. We are the one selecting thought as a distraction. He's telling that sound is not distracting. That means we are not consider about the sound. Sound is coming and going away, but we don't consider about that. If we get distraction from the thought, we are the one get important to the thought. So if we not select anything, then we don't get distraction from anything. So very good report as a beginning. So you have to continue this thing in the not only for the sitting or walking session. Whole the day you can check whether what is happening. You can check whether anything come and whether it's not going away or not. So everything coming will go away. That's the nature of the thing. It's a good report in the beginning. So we'll go to the next one.
Thank you, Bhante. Move on to the second one. It's again from another adult. Walking meditation, 30 minutes. Walked inside on wooden floor. Attention was on the lifting, moving, and placing of each foot. Noted the coolness of the floor on the soles of feet. Recognized the absence of pressure when each foot was lifted off the floor, similar to a sponge when it is squeezed and then letting go. Noticed how the body weight was balanced on the foot that was still on the floor while the other was in motion. Some thoughts about an upcoming event came up and the mind raced to it with anxiety and stress. Soon after, brought the attention back to the movement of feet. Wondered how the walking had continued when the mind was lost in thoughts. When the mindfulness returned to the action of walking, noticed that the heel is the first area of contact with the floor, having highest of pressure. When the midfoot is placed on the floor, the pressure is medium, and again noted the big toe of the forefoot feeling higher pressure just before the foot was lifted in the air. Coolness of the wooden floor had changed now to a somewhat warmer temperature. Heard sounds from outside, continued to walk for another few minutes, wondered again how the walking had continued in those moments when the mind was on thoughts, sounds, etc., and not on walking. Sitting meditation. Sat on the cushion and adjusted the posture to a comfortable position. Felt the warm sensation of legs in contact with the mat. Attention moved few times up through the body to the top of the head and down again towards the tip of the toes. Noticed the breath. In-breath was shorter and cool, and out-breath was longer and warm. Noted changes to the breath. There were much longer in-breath and similar out-breath from time to time. Felt discomfort in the left mid-back. There was irritation in the mind. Noted the connection between the pain in the feeling, irritation reduced. The discomfort was still there, but couldn't really place it as it wasn't felt in the left mid-back anymore, but as it spread over a bigger area. Attention returned to breath again. It had become a bit subtle and couldn't feel the cool or warm sensation of it near the nostrils, like at the beginning. Notice the pressure and warmth around where palms and fingers would have been, although couldn't feel the demarcations of left or right hand, as if the outline of each hand has dissolved. Noted other areas where outline of body seemed to have melted into each other. Example, sat cross-legged at the beginning with right foot on left knee, but now just the pressure and warmth were felt, and couldn't work out the outlines of legs. Mindfulness continued. Mindfulness returned to breath from time to time, but sensation of it had become a little bit more subtle. Mindfulness during the day. Noted the thinking while putting dishes away. As soon as noticing the mind had drifted to thinking about the future, the attention returned to the action of putting dishes away. While preparing food, the thinking mind reappeared. Again, the recognition of that brought the attention back to the food preparation. This process of inner chatter was noted at different points in the day during various activities. It was surprising how often the mind would automatically move to thinking. It was also surprising that every time when the distraction was noticed, how the attention returned to the current activity, even for a short period. Venerable Bhante, I would really appreciate your feedback on how to adjust and move forward with the mindfulness practice. Everyone silent. End of report.
Long report. It contains so many details about the sitting and walking also. So in the beginning, I will go into the walking one. In here, you are telling that you feel the so many details about the pressure point, what is happening in your food. So I have identified the toe is the touching first like that, the different kind of pressure, and also you have identified that when your foot is rising, the pressure is not you can't identify the pressure at that point. That is the relative thing. That is the most important thing I have to highlight. When you feel the something and also when you not feel something, that is relative to the feeling. That is relative. That identification is most important. When you are telling that you can't feel anything, that is relative to the feeling thing. That is important. So that is the thing I like to highlight in the walking thing. And also you have a lot of details. That is good. That means you stayed mindfully all the session with your body. It is most important. And also you have identified that sometimes you can identify the pressure and sometimes you can't identify. That is when you can't identify something, that also the part of the mindfulness. You are looking at the thing about that, but you can't identify anything. That is most important. Again, when we go to the mindful sitting, the beginning you feel a lot of things different between the in breath and out breath like that. You feel the lot of things, but after that your feeling is get fade off like thing. And also the when we come into the end of the session, you are telling that this is me, this is not me like that. The boundaries of the body also you can't feel that. That is the thing when we are staying with the long time mindfully. Sometimes you may feel that. That is that also the thing how to highlight. That also the good thing. So in the day-to-day life also, when we are concentrate to the one thing, we leave the all other thing. We leave the whole the world when we are concentrating to the one thing. That is the thing happening when we doing the mindful sitting or walking also. When we concentrate to the breathing, whole world is we are leaving. So that we have to think about the good part of that. When we are concentrate on one thing, we leave all the thing. That is most important. So, and also the when we are doing the day-to-day life also, sometimes we know that we are in mindful, but sometimes we are doing the inner chatter like that. That is our nature of our mind. Without noting that mind is going away and doing the inner chatter thing. And that identification is the most important thing. In the first day we can identify but second day sometimes when we go into the inner chatter, after few seconds only we can identify that now I am doing this kind of bad thing. Then you can come to the current moment with your thing you are doing. Like that, you can come to the current moment. The most important thing is the identification. Whether your mind is doing inner chatter or planning something or thinking about the past thing like that. This identification is the most important thing. So with that, continue this thing and highlight the things I highlighted thing. So you can stay some longer time with mindfully with the whole day. So good. We'll go to the next one.
Thank you, Bhante. So we'll move on to the last report. Mindful sitting. Initially heard the melodies of the birds and felt tightness of muscles. As few more minutes passed, strongly felt the change in body temperature. Mind was latched into various thoughts and past events, but the inner voice kept saying, focus on the present. Focused on the sensation of breath, it is now only a signal, breath has thinned out. Within a few minutes, mind became calm and gradually became totally empty. Noticed a yellow light in the Dhamma eye. It was not still but kept swirling. Could also see a mist and energy swirling around. Stayed in total peace for some time before the mind latched into a previous event again. Inner voice came into action and said to focus on there and now and to give metta for the person in the thought. And with that, notice the thought fading away. Soon it felt as if I was floating in the sky. Everything was blue, stayed in this tranquility for a long time. Day-to-day practice. I used to get angry so easily. I've hurt my family's feelings with my anger so many times in the past. Since I started on Anapanasati a year ago, I am now a totally different person. Like the old me has vanished. At times, I still get agitated, angry, annoyed, but I react very less and find myself noticing the feelings more and more now. I know I need to control what I have to say to my family members, speak less, and listen more to them. I used to be so stressed with work, but now I complain very less. I just think that stress is an overreaction to life and that I can react better in situations. The thoughts that come to me now when I am at home mostly are pick up a Dhamma book, listen to Dhamma, and do something good to others. I guess this is my progression. Some questions to ask from Bhante. This energy that I experience in deep meditation, is it the energy that's within myself? I noticed a color change when I gave metta. Can I spread this metta energy to the others to do some goodness for them? Will doing this in meditation deviate me from my path? Is it my own mind that I see as a bright light? Why does it keep moving? Is it because my mind is still moving with thoughts? With this, the increase in practice, can one still the mind completely? Lord Buddha said, with stillness, you will see into the Dhamma. Samadhi, Prajna, Yatha Buddha, Jnana, Desana. Please explain this further to us with metta. End of report.
Okay. In the beginning, I will go to the comments, and after that, we'll go to the 3 questions he asked. And I feel you are some samadhi oriented person like that. When you start the mindful session, you start with the mindfulness of your breathing system. You are looking at what is happening in your nostril area or the stomach rising and falling. Because of when you are keep looking at that, your mind get calmed down, and because of this cause and effect only, your mind get calmed down, and you may see the yellow light or blue light or something else will come because of this process. It is also the cause and effect. The thing have happened to you, or you whatever you see because of the cause and effect. That also the not thing happen suddenly. It will come because of the something you did. So the thing we have to highlight, you thing you did is the most important. That is you come to your current moment, your body. Because of that only you feel those kind of thing. After we look at our current body, current moment, our mind get calmed down, and sometimes some people will go to this kind of samadhi thing. If you highlight this samadhi, we will lose the thing to identify the reality of the thing. That is, what is the reality is instability, suffering, and also the unselfness. Those kind of things we can't identify if we go to the highlighting the samadhi thing. Samadhi thing is most important, but if you much highlight samadhi, we lost the thing to identification of this kind of basic important thing for the mind purification. If we go to the most oriented to the samadhi, that kind of identification will lose from us. So for that, we have to highlight what is thing we start to do. That means to come to our current moment, current body. If we if we highlight the things, what is the thing we feel now, and what is happening now in my body, and try to identify what is happening now, whether it is coming and going away, rising and falls down, like that, what is happening to that, then we can identify the reality of the things throughout the nostril area or breathing system. We can identify that everything in the world is like that. Likewise, if we concentrate with the intention of identify the thing, then we can identify all the things throughout our body, and we can identify what is happening in the world, like that. If we go to the concentrate about the samadhi, we will go to this kind of yellow light or blue light or sometimes kindness like thing, and sometimes we will go to the something else that is not to do, that is not important for our mind purification. So I think it's better to go to the mindfulness other than go to samadhi. Samadhi is important, but it also uh, not need to go some more further. Before going to the samadhi, we can identify what is happening in the current moment with my body. So if we concentrate what is happening to that, to try to identify the things in the current moment, then we can identify the reality of the thing throughout our body. So that is the thing I have to tell in that. So we will go to the 3 questions. In his report, 3 questions have, I think.
Do you want me to read the questions
Yes.
again, Bante? Okay.
Yes.
The questions are, this energy that I experience in deep meditation, is it energy that's within me? I noticed.
Yes. First question, there is energy is within you, but actually, as I mentioned earlier, it also the cause and effect. If you think it is me, it is my thing, then your soul is like that. if you think about it is my thing, it is me only can do those things, and then your what is called the selfness is getting increased. Actually, it is the cause and effect only. We can tell that it is my energy, but if you go to highlight, it is your selfness going increase. So let's say actually it can be your thing, but no need to highlight that. No need to highlight, but it also the cause and effect only. Even though it is your energy, no need to highlight. So let's go to the next one.
Next one is, I noticed a color change when I gave metta. Can I spread this metta energy to others to do some goodness for them? Or is this meditation deviating me from my path?
Okay, you can spread those things, because that is also another kind of energy. But it's most important thing to identify, color is change. That is the thing. The color also you feel is changing. That is the reality. When it's starting, it may be yellow color. After that, it may be green color, like that. That also the changing. You can identify the changes of the thing. Even though you got see the whatever color, that also the change. That is the most important thing to identify. What is the thing you received now? It also the changing. That is the reality. That all things are the other you have to highlight. Okay, what's the next question?
The last one is, I think, last bit of it is it my own mind that I see through bright light? Why does it keep moving? Is it because my mind?
You don't like to move. You think it should be stay last long. That is the thing you are coming this kind of question. If you look at this as an outside person, even though it's move or even though it is still last long, there is no problem. If you expect to it should be stay like that, that again you are in the suffering. If you think it can be changed, it can be moved, then no problem, even though it's move or not. So that is also that I mentioned earlier. It also the cause and effect. When cause it come, it can be see. When cause is end, that can be move or it going away, like that. It also not stay last long. It can be changed. It can be moved. That is the reality of the thing.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante. That was very informative. Actually, Bhante, the next item is to go into questions, because this is very relevant to this. I thought I will ask a question first. I too have experienced very similar things as these lights, although I don't actually regularly meditate, but I still experience something very similar, and I didn't know how to move forward from that. How do I move forward from this experiencing of lights?
If you are expecting you need to move forward, that is the another thing. If you expect something, that is the you are getting suffering. You get this because of the cause and effect. You start from the looking at the breathing system. So this is also the cause and effect. With the cause, you get the effect, like see this kind of light or something. So that also the cause and effect. So you can see what is happening to that, whether it is still last long, it is moving, it is increasing and decreasing, like that. You can see you can observe the characteristic of this light also. If you observe those very well, as an outside person, it should be happen, it should not be happen, like that. Then you can observe what is happened actual reality, what is the reality of that. Throughout that, you can observe the things in the world. That also the coming and going away, like the breathing coming and going away, or left foot to right foot moving, that like that. Everything is coming and going away. That light also may come and go away. It can be changed, it can be moved to something else. Like that, you can observe what is happening to the reality. So no need to expect to go next step. Whatever you received now, you can observe what is happening to that. Then throughout that, you can check whether what is happening in the real world at the current moment.
Thank you, Bhante. We'll practice more and see what will happen. So observe what I see, basically, and not be anxious about moving from there. Right. Thank you. So as I've already moved forward, it's time to ask questions from Bhante. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand and I will let you unmute yourself. I can't see any hands being raised. Looks like there are no questions for today. So I will hand you back to Namantha. Yeah, no more questions. Thank you, Namantha.
Thank you very much, Sonali and much merits, and thank you and merits to Bhante for the insightful advice to us. Next, I will share the screen to quickly summarize the steps to follow if you're a beginner, or even if you're an experienced practitioner, you can use this as a refresher. I will just share my screen. Okay, I think you will be able to see here. These are the steps to follow, just to be aware. There are two videos on mindfulness published. One is on mindful walking and the next is on mindful sitting. So we practice this as a routine practice because there are many benefits of following a routine each day or frequently once every few days, depending on how your schedule is. The first video outlines how to do the mindful walking. What are the things you need to keep an eye on observing? Nothing in this is like mandatory. You should go with your own flow in this. The video just summarizes and gives you kind of a roughly estimated framework for you to know what to pay attention to. It's very easy, it's very simple. Then mindful sitting, that is the second video on mindful sitting. Again, here there could be you could be focusing on your breath, moving in and out, and the breath could be chaotic. It might not follow a certain pattern. It might follow a certain pattern at times. So you just keep observing it and you see what you can identify, whether your focus is on the breath or on external objects or external thoughts, or there is inner chatter, as Bhante once mentioned. Then once you go through these two videos, you can allocate some time daily to practice each of these sessions in quick succession, one after the other. We prefer it that way. So you can allocate maybe 10 to 15 minutes minimum to spanning up to 1 hour for one session, let's say mindful walking, and then follow through with a similar time allocated for the mindful sitting. These I will put in all this information in the Zoom chat section, so you can copy the links. The third step is you keep on doing this for several days, could be 3-4 days, or even if you feel confident, even 1 day is fine. Write your experience during mindful walking, what you felt or where you kept or maintained your attention towards. It could be the sole of your feet touching the floor. It could be the movement of your body, the rhythm of your body moving back and forth. It could be other muscle movement related sensations, and keep on observing what you observe. And then when you write the report, just try to recall back and write it. So during mindful walking, it's important that you don't worry too much about writing all this. You just do it, and then when you write, you try to remember as much as you can and then write it. Then the same goes for mindful sitting. Primary object could be the breath moving in and breath moving out. It could be the abdomen rising or falling, the bodily sensations. It could be any of that. But whatever that comes into prominence can be selected. You don't have to go hunting for any object to focus on. Whatever that comes up, just keep looking at that, and then write that experience, what you observed in your own words. Again, during the mindful sitting, you do not need to worry about writing. You can, once you finish, you can recall what happened and then try to put as much into paper as possible. You can send these two written reports. Plus, if you like, you can send through an additional comment or writing on how you practice and how you witness mindfulness in action in your day-to-day life, whether it makes life easier for you or whether it makes it even harder for you. We don't know, it can happen. So just write what you observe. Then you can send it to us through the Google form on the link there on item number 4, or you can email it to beginnersnv@gmail.com, our standard email for correspondence. And you can also use that email for any other correspondence or questions if you have any. Then there is a selection of the videos for these sessions are the audio files are uploaded into the website there, and I will put that also into the Zoom chat section. So each time that you send reports, we will present it to Bhante and he will advise you, and you will gain a cycle of feedback by doing this repeatedly. So you keep on improving your mindfulness. And as you know, there are so many benefits of being mindful that it is so good to incorporate this into part of your daily practice. So that's essentially that's the sum total of the refresher or beginner's advice from us from this program. I will stop sharing the screen now. Okay, so I will put all the links and information into the Zoom chat section, and next we will proceed on to the talk by Bhante on mindfulness as scheduled for today. So from all of us, I request with much respect for Bhante to commence the talk on mindfulness for today. Over to Bhante. Much merits.
Okay, thank you, Namanta. Actually, I couldn't have much time to prepare for a good thing. So I tried to talk about the Iddipada about today. So I think most of you know about that. The Buddha is mentioned about the 4 type of Iddipada. That means 4 type of power bases or 4 type of supportive factors for the spiritual enlightenment or mindfulness. That those 4 things for important for mindful purification. I think those kind of four kind of things are there. These 4 is the in the most important base things for the your mindful purification. Actually, there are 37 type of Iddipada. Those are the 37 factors for the your need to get enlightenment. For this 4 is the most important 4 thing in the beginning. What are those 4 things are? Chanda, Chitta, Virya, Vimansa is the 4 things. When we talk about these 4 things, when someone need to do something, not only mental purification, not only the good thing, but when you're doing something, even though it is good, not good thing, even though it is bad thing also, you need those 4 things for the to do that very well way, very better way. The 4th thing is, the first thing is Chanda. That is mean likelihood to do that. When you need to do something, you should like to do that. Actually, most of you may know that when we are doing learning when we are going to school like that, actually we don't like to learn. We like to go somewhere else and do something else. But our parents saying that we should learn, we should go to school and learn. But we don't like that. Because of that, we don't do it very well. Like that, if you need to do something, we should have the chanda, we should have likelihood to do. When we do something else also, like your day-to-day life things or something else also, you should have likelihood to do that. In the physical thing, I mean, in the worldly thing, we can identify that this kind of benefits I am receiving because of doing those things. That is the thing we get encouraged. Like that, let's say we get the car, we get the vehicle, we get the new house. Like that, at that time we know that what kind of benefit we get. Like that, earlier in the question section we saw that sometimes we know that sometimes we get the benefit of getting samadhi. That is mean, if we know what are the benefit we receiving by doing something, that means our likelihood get increased. So that to increase the chanda or to increase the likelihood, we should know about what are the benefit we are receiving. In the worldly thing, normally we know what kind of benefits we receive. But like the mental purification, like unworldly thing, we can't identify what kind of benefits we are receiving. Like that, when we go to the enlightenment, let's say, we can't identify what kind of benefits I am receiving, but by getting the enlightenment. That is the thing, the most important. If we know that what kind of benefits I am receiving by getting enlightenment, then our likelihood get increased. So what is the thing we are receiving by enlightenment? Actually, when we staying in this world, always we are suffering. All the things coming now will go away. That the most important thing is identify. If we identify that, we should no one can say that enlightenment is not important. If we know that the correctly reality of the current moment, reality of the current world, whether it is suffering or not, then our likelihood or our chanda to the enlightenment or leaving from this world will get increased. That is the chanda to the get enlightenment. So while doing this path, while practicing this thing, the most important thing is that when we are doing mindful walking or mindful sitting, like that, when we doing mindful practice, if we can identify the reality of the thing, if we can identify things coming now will go away, or always suffering is happen, always suffering thing is happen with current moment. If we can identify through the mindful practice, then our chanda for the leaving to the this world will get increased. So the most important things to doing this practice is that to identify what is happening in the current moment. It is not through the outside thing. It is not through the past thing or future thing. It is happening in the current moment through the my body or my mind. Like that. That is the most important thing. You can identify the thing is current moment through yourself. So if you identify the important is of the getting enlightenment, then your likelihood is getting increased. So when we doing this mindfulness practice, first day you can do the mindful practice, let's say 5 minutes. Next day you can do the 10 minutes, like that. When we getting increase, you yourself get identify what is happening now, what is happening in the current moment. then if you can identify this reality gradually, like that, everything coming is going away. Always suffering is happening. Like that, with the mindful practice, if you can identify this reality thing, then your likelihood also get increased with the time. So try to identify with the mindful practice what is happening in the current moment as the outside person. Not because of I am telling, not because of Buddha is telling. You yourself can identify what is happening in the current moment. And also the second thing is Chanda Chitta. Chitta also the mindfulness, or else it can say mind. If you are looking at or observing what is happening with mindfully, you yourself can identify what is happening. It is not because of someone else telling. So you also yourself can identify. So the chitta also most important things to do. Actually, these four things, as I mentioned earlier, this four thing is not only for the doing good thing. Even though you are doing bad thing also, if you do the anything very well mindfully, you can do it is very well. Let's say the cat is trying to catch a rat. The cat is so mindful at that time, but he is doing the bad thing. He is trying to kill someone else, but cat is so mindful at that time. Like that, when we are doing the bad thing also, if you are so mindful, you can do it is very well. So that if you're doing the good thing with mindfully, you can do that very well in your day-to-day life also, when you are doing your job, or when you are doing something else also. As far as you are mindful, you can do it is very well. That is the chitta. And then next thing is the virya. That is the another thing is that is determination of the things, what you want to do. Actually, most of the people has the starting virya. That's it. Starting is we are doing very well. When we are starting something, we are doing it is very well. But when with the time, our virya is getting reduced. That is the things sometimes most of the people happening. In the beginning, we are doing it is very well. But with the time, sometimes our virya is getting down, falling down, and our likelihood also getting down. The virya is most important from the beginning to the end. And also when we are doing mindful practice, in the beginning we need much virya, like that our mind is not stay with the our concentrate place, like that means our kamatahan, the mind is not stay last long with that. So always our mind is try to go away, and also our body also not supporting very well in the beginning. But with the time being, we should not put the much virya for that, for doing the mindful practice. Then at that time, we can practice with the very less effort. In the beginning, we need much bigger effort, but with the time, we can do it the same thing with less effort. That is the important thing of the virya. Another thing is vimansa. Vimansa is the try to identify what is happening with the panya. That also the another thing is the panya. Panya and the vimansa are the same. When we are doing something, we have to identify whether it is correct, or what the path I am going is the correct or wrong. And like this, we should have the vimansa. Sometimes we are doing some wrong thing. Sometimes we are not doing the correct thing we have to do. So if we have mindful enough, our or our vimansa is there, check whether what things I am doing is correct or wrong with the time to time, then we can move to the correct path. If we move away from the correct path, then we can change the path and we can come to the correct path and go to the our destination. So these four things are the most important thing when someone need to mental purification as well. And also if you do something else, not a mental purification, something day-to-day life also, if you know about these four things and you are following those four things, you can do that is very well. The most important thing is this four thing also, the worldly thing. Those are the some behavior of your mind. So because of that, those four things also not stay last long actually. So sometimes one of these may get highlight at one point. The same person, once your virya may be much higher. Sometimes your vimansa may be much higher. Sometimes your mindfulness may be higher. But if you are mindful enough to identify that, you can identify now my virya is much higher than the other. Then you can balance the thing. And also the person to person also this may be changed. One person may be with much virya. One person may be with much vimansa, like that. There's person to person also this can change. And also within single person also, it can be changed time to time. Actually, this is also the worldly thing. Because of that, it can be changed time to time. So with the balance of within those things, we can go to our destination, like mental purification. If we know that this four thing is most important, and try to increase those things and do whatever you are doing very well with those four, then you can do it very well. So with that thing, I like to end the small Dhamma talk. I think you may get something from this my short Dhamma talk. And Theruvan Sarana, everyone.
Thank you very much, Bhante, for that exceptional talk on mindful practice and the four components of the mind. Next, if we have a few minutes available, if anyone has a question to raise based on the talk itself, we can give you the opportunity. Please raise a Zoom hand and you can raise a question to Bhante. I feel there's no one volunteering for a question. I would like to wrap up today's session and give you 10 minutes earlier, 10 minutes from the session. I would like to thank Venerable Bhante Dhammagutta Thero for stepping forward to conduct today's session in the absence of Venerable Dhamma Kusala Thero. So we wish you all the progress and merit from this session, from the results of this good deed for Bhante to practice Bhante's own practice comfortably and to advance. And also we wish to see Bhante taking part in future sessions whenever the opportunity rises too. Thank you so much, Bhante, and many merits to Bhante. Then I would also like to mention with much respect Most Venerable Udayiragama Dhammajiva Mahathero for his insightful recognition of need for a program of this nature and allowing the resource time from the Bhante's schedules to implement this program, these sessions. So much merits to Mahathero for this activity, for this action on his behalf. Thank you. Then I would like to thank all the organizers who persisted, who initiated this program, and those who are persisting still to maintain a high quality of program throughout. And I also want to thank most heartily all the attendees who have been attending these sessions. If you were not there, then we would not be feeling very happy, because all this wonderful work, all this great commitment from Bhante will not be reaching fruitful result. So it is your attendance that we seek the most, and we appreciate the most in these sessions. So thank you, and we hope you will join the sessions and also be able to utilize whatever the learnings from these in your day-to-day life, in your day-to-day work activities, because we know this is something that works and provides benefit. We have firm trust in the teaching, and we believe you will be able to reap these benefits. So thank you again. Next, I would like to wrap up the session, and if anyone has any questions or suggestions on the general program, then you can raise a Zoom hand and we will give you a few minutes to speak up. All right. I think there is no one raising Zoom hand. So with that, I will like to end the session for today. This is the 33rd session on mindfulness for beginners in English. So in a sense, we would suggest to you to allocate some time from your busy daily schedules to this activity, and try to experience it and try to write on that experience and gain feedback from the program. And I would like to wish all of you a happy and mindful week ahead, and we will hope to see you next week joining the session on next Saturday, the 29th of May 2022. I will end the session, and also thank you very much for the kind comments there from Anupama and Udara. Thank you. I will end the session now.